Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. This one a rematch of last year's final. The Blues taking on the Chiefs. I messed up like 3 words there. I'm very excited for this match. These two sides, they've had a little bit of a storied rivalry. Last year though, 2-0 up for the Blues. The Chiefs want to change that, but they are at Eden Park, which is going to make it extremely challenging. Looking through at the panel predictions, I do see that Aaron Cruden and Stephen Donald are both picking the Chiefs to win this game. That is not surprising, seeing as they both did play rugby in Waikato. But for this game, a lot of people are picking the Blues as the heavy favourite, and whether or not they can get the job done, we will soon know. Looking through at the lineups for this contest, first of all, for the Blues, Ofa Tuangafasi, Ricky Riccatelli and Marcel Renata will be the front row. Patrick Tuipulotu and Lachlan McWannell. McWannell, honestly, an underappreciated guy from last season. Derry was really looked at as the standout lock in terms of those younger players, but McWannell has been consistent for a long time. And Big Paddy, when he returned near the end of the season, he certainly brought the impact as well. Anton Segner at 6 with Dalton Papali and Cameron Suafua at number 8. No Hoskins Atutu for this game, and that is due to the injury in the off-season. Taufa Funaki and Harry Plummer as the 19 combination. AJ Lamb and Rico Ioane in the midfield. So certainly plenty of punch that can be available here for this Blues side. Caleb Clark, Mark Talia and Bowden Barrett and All Blacks back 3. And one to watch out for. And this matchup for the Chiefs, in terms of their starting side, Ollie Norris, I should say, Brody McAllister at 2 and George Dyer slotting in at 3. So McAllister making the transfer from the Crusaders, now find themselves wearing the Chiefs kit. Natoa Akoi and Josh Lord in the locking duo with Simon Parker, Kalen Boshier and Luke Jacobson there as the number 8. Xavier Rowe and Josh Jacob, the young combination, but very effective when they do find their rhythm. Quintupai and Daniel Rona in the midfield. A little bit, once again, underappreciated in some people's eyes, but that can be an extremely dangerous combo. And if Rico and AJ don't play well, I think they will be the reason why. These two here in that Chiefs midfield. Ateno Nana Satoro out on one wing. The sevens man, Leroy Carter, has got a lot of pace and power. He's out on the right. And Damian McKenzie slots in at 15. So of the two main fly halves that the All Blacks used last year, neither of them playing fly half at the start of the Super Rugby season. But now we will jump into the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, do let me know your predictions for this contest. We will quickly remove that. There we go. Perfect. I feel like the Bulls won't even show up tonight, says Kerr. And the Blues are above, or Blues by the stars above. And afternoon, Tuipulotu needs to come to the Glasgow, says Kerr. I did see another Tuipulotu did transfer. I believe he went to Pau, if I am correct, or Po. And I thought that it was either, first of all, I thought Sione, then I thought Patrick, but in the end it was another Tuipulotu fella who I hadn't really heard a huge amount about. Lowell Blues 5, 31 Chiefs from our simulation. Yeah, but the problem was we were playing as the Chiefs and we are not good at that game. So that's definitely not something to judge this actual prediction off. My preview that I did decide to go with the Blues by 10, I believe, from Auckland, but go the Chiefs. Says Rugby Union. And the question on who will say Bulls versus Chiefs, just saying, says, or who will win? Blues versus Chiefs. And the Bulls or the Chiefs in your poll. Okay, I understand why everyone is saying that now. That's obviously the little error from ourselves. We will quickly change that before we get absolutely crucified. One moment, ladies and gents. And we should have that fixed. Who was picking the Bulls, though? That's the big question. Maybe a few, and the Blues over the Chiefs. The Bulls, 40% chance of winning. They're doing all right for a game that they aren't actually playing in. Right, we'll update this poll. I will mention it will lag while I'm doing this, just because my PC is playing up. But we'll go who's is going to win. And this time, we will put the Blues, seeing as they are in the game. We will go with a draw. And we will go with the Chiefs. There we go. That will be a little bit better off, I would say. We knew you meant Blues, to be honest, says the man Maori. And the Chiefs by 10 points. I've also got an inkling on a yellow card, or the yellow card is going to be used a bit tonight. And we have Gadesioni at Glasgow, Mosisi at Edinburgh. And I mean the Bulls. Yeah, because was it Mosisi that transferred, or was it another Tuipulotu? I think it was Mosisi, was it? And I might be paying for Sky Sport after all. Says Max, and not me. I thought you may have had one or two, says Moa Hunters. And the Blues are going, also the Blues, Bulls, if I'm not wrong. And it's an easy error. Bulls, Blues, nearly spelt the same. It shouldn't have been done though, should it? I should have paid a bit more attention. Must have been trying to do it far too fast. But this game not too far away from kicking off, 4 minutes away from the start. They are just showing what is coming up for the Blues. They got an exciting game next week up against the Highlanders. In terms of this Chiefs side, they are playing the Crusaders, so 2 New Zealand derbies on both sides of the board. But so far throughout this round of Super Rugby, every game has been separated by less than 10. And in most cases, it's been separated by less than 7. And then, on top of that, less than 5. So hopefully this game is just as close at Eden Park. Of course, the Blues do come in as the favourites. But the Chiefs, they are known for being an underdog side that can get victories. Just said about Tofa Funaki as the starting 9. A few people a little bit surprised by that choice. But AJ Lamb, Rico Ioane, no surprises there in the midfield. And then, of course, Bowden Barrett at 15. Another guy to watch out for this Blues side. Blues by 10 is Chris's prediction. And they are just showing there off the bench. Choate, Finley Christie. They've got Shea Clark, youngster. Another opportunity for these Sevens fellows who are coming into the Union world. And that loss hurt yesterday, says PSG. The good news for the Highlanders, though, is they at least got the bonus point. And I know that probably doesn't feel that great now, but it's much better off you get him the early bonus point rather than missing out in the later stages by 1 point for the qualifying. 2 from 2 already, Hamish, says Chris Hayes. So you're very brave then to go with the same prediction as I went with, as I am, I believe, 0 from 2 at least at this point in time. And that loss hurt yesterday, and Blues by 12. And Chiefs all the way, says Moa Hunters, and another trophy for New Zealand cricket last night. Mitch Satner going all right. Says Glenn Woods. Yeah, he's looking good with ball in hand at the moment, Mitch. And it was good to see Latham get some runs too. But of course, they've beaten Pakistan twice in the warm-up games in the Tri-Nations. But if they don't get the win in the first opening contest of the Champions Trophy, then that is all for nothing. You know, this is the next game, the one that's coming up that they have to win. And we're not too far away from it, I believe. Tomorrow or the next day, I think, is when that one is starting up. Let's go the Chiefs. There's one in there too. Just talking about that change. Brodie McAllister in a Chiefs kit this year after playing for the Crusaders in last season's competition. Crusaders was my pick. So were the Tars. That was last night, says Chris. And a Wednesday, says Glenn Woods. And also we have got there New Zealand. Got strong bowlers and batters, says a Rugby Union. And Wednesday, okay, so we're still, is it the 19th that it's on? Possibly. The Chiefs making their way out onto Eden Park. A few cowbells are ringing. A lot of anticipation for this contest. They want to see a close one. But also, Chiefs fans want to see that upset. Luke Jacobson, I believe he is expected to have a big season for this year. Was in the All Blacks question last season, as well as a few minutes under his belt. With the likes of a Wallace Satiti, that puts that little bit more pressure on the loose forwards. Now that he is injured, it opens up that door. But Ofa Tuanga Fasi to make his way onto the field for his 150th game. Massive moment for him. Makes his way out of the tunnel. I believe with his family, I would assume. Now gets the big round of applause from Eden Park, appreciating what he has done for this side. And what's a crowd like? Many people. Looks like a decent crowd at Eden Park. There are a few empty seats, as there normally are in the higher stands up, but still a decent enough crowd, I would say, for Super Rugby. But Alfa Toinga Fasi, he's actually come off a very good Super Rugby 2024 season, so I wouldn't even be surprised if he can get himself a try on the board. But a little bit of symbolism with the Super Rugby Pacific trophy sitting just outside of the Blues tunnel, showing them exactly what they could be winning if they perform at the highest level again this year. So in Super Rugby, all 3 of my picks have lost, says Glenn. So it sounds a bit like myself. I picked the Canes to win. I think I would have said the Tars, if I'm completely honest. But I don't think I ever really gave a proper prediction for that game. I just spent $65 on fish and chips for me and my partner. It's rip-off in Australia. That is a lot. What type of fish is it, out of curiosity, Matthew? It must be that good stuff if it's $65 a pop. So I assume the chips aren't the... Although potato chips in Australia are very expensive. Will probably rain, it's overcast and spitting. Says Rugby Union, they are just showing the head-to-head between Damien McKenzie and Bowden Barrett. 2 men, like I said, playing fly half at international. But both of the coaches have decided, you know what, why not just switch it up and put them both in 15. Harry Plummer, he's playing at 10, but he's no longer an option for the All Blacks 10 jersey due to him taking the overseas contract, rightfully so. Little did he know, both guys were playing fullback this year. The Super Rugby Trophy will be back with the Satyrs this year, says Chris. Now the countdown is on. Dalton Papali'i grown a beard on the off-season by the looks of it, and he is now ready for another season of Super Rugby. And it's nicely taken by Josh Lord. A lot of drop balls in that Brumbies versus Fiji and Drua game, over 20 for the Brumbies in the handling era stat. The Chiefs already putting together 2 phases. Per fish and chips, expensive too. Fish is huge though, says the Mad Māori. And also hoping Leroy Carter has a good game. Yeah, he's an outstanding player in the 7 side of things. Here comes Bowden Barrett running the ball forward. Tackled early by Kalen Boshier. Altalfa Funaki goes back to the right. Harry Plummer. Then the ball off to Cameron Suafua. Got big shoes to fill in that 8 jersey for the Blues in the absence of Satutu. Now back to the right. Suafua. Quick hands from Plummer. Goes to AJ Lamb. Toakoi losing his footing. Good start to the match so far for the Blues. Just hanging on to this ball. Not rushing anything. We'll mention as well they do not have Bryce Heem this year. Sadly out for the season. Bowden Barrett tries the cross kick. Anton Segner, nice diving take. Caleb Clark having a bit of a fumble. Throws it over his head like he's playing football. And Ofa Tuangafasi of all people is there ready for it. Chiefs looking for the turnover. Not quite getting the hand on the ball that time. Talfa Funaki goes off to Marcel Renatu. Didn't really look like he was expecting that pass. McWannell, 2-man tackle on him by Lord and Jacobson. After 10 phases, this is very smooth rugby at the moment, I would say, when these 2 sides have been getting their passing right. How big is this crowd? I'm not sure of the exact attendance, but I'd say it's maybe 40 to 50% full at Eden Park, maybe even a little bit less. Now Talfa Funaki, now into the left-hand side, Tui Pilotu. Now Funaki puts the grubber in behind. Awkward one. Well claimed at the back by Josh Jacob. Finds McKenzie on the inside and he will put this ball into touch. Oh, only just. Now Harry Plummer considers going for the 3 but decides against it in the end. Flake has gone up to $12.50. Says Matthew. Geez, that's expensive. Like a fish here, depending on where you are, of course, and depending on the quality of the fish, but a cheap fish here is probably $5. Something around there. But why don't the Blues have a better name? I have wondered this for so many years. Why are they not the Auckland Weta or something other than a colour? See, here's Kerr. Here's the only other side that I can think of that are just the colour of the Reds. Any other teams? I mean, All Blacks, but other than that, what other sides around the world have a colour as their names? That's a good question. Now kick downfield from Talfa Funaki, who's top of the table, says Chris Hayes. At the moment, the Crusaders are. Now nice attacking run forward, and then followed by the Brumbies and then the Waratahs. The 2 Australian sides at the moment in the top 3. Now, kicked high from McKenzie. It's taken a little bit of a deflection. Awkward one. Trying to slap that one back. Looks like it might have been knocked on by Barrett. In fact, I've said it's just come off him. And goes into touch. Line out throw for Brodie McAllister. Auckland Blues have been there always. Great name. Reds, Blue Bulls. Says Eric. And Le Bleu. Says Glenn. And phase is much longer. Yeah, it's probably the most phases we have seen It's a big shot from Papa Lee. Almost knocked himself silly from doing that one. Kicked him behind. Sits up again for Plummer, who has a bit of a slip just outside of his 22. Atafa Funaki back across to Marcel Renata. Now Funaki sets up again for the box here. Hurricanes, Crusaders, Chiefs, Highlanders. High, we are blue, says Kerr. Now it's going to go high. Nicely taken by Josh Jacob under the high ball. Mark Talia didn't decide to jump for it, but instead wait for Jacob to bring it in and look for that turnover on the ground. Xavier Rowe goes across to Ollie Norris. And now Rowe looks like he's going to be firing up. Kick of his own. And go the mighty Waikato Chiefs, says Christopher. Chasing this one, Damien McKenzie makes his way through. Hasn't taken it cleanly, but instead Harry Plummer, a great take by the Blues fly half. 5 minutes into the contest already, Bowden Barrett slings it across to Lachlan McWannell. And the Blues says Sky City. How's the weather in Auckland tonight? They mentioned showers earlier on in the day and only a little bit of rain in the forecast. Now a good run from Rico. Gets it away to AJ Lamb. Meters are hard to come by at the moment for these two sides. Ricky Riccatelli, stand out last year. Oh, is that stolen by Lord? No, it's not. No rolling away from Ngātoa Koi. Go the mighty Blues and Heavenly Kingy Blue. Here's Eric. So that's against Ngātoa Akoi. Josh Lord thought that he had rights to that ball. The referee quickly shut him down and said, no, you don't. Penalty against you. Are they going to go for the posts here, the Blues, or do they kick towards the corner? Harry Plummer, he's got his mouth guard in hand. That's not a kicking tee, so they're kicking for the corner. Going aggressive here early. Not a bad tactic. They've got the Chiefs under a bit of pressure, a lot more position for the Blues throughout the first 6 minutes. So it's going to be about 15 metres out. We're going to see it there. Ngātoa Koi. He's in a sandwich there. So he probably couldn't have moved too much, but then Josh Lord needed to recognise that his teammate was there. Tell you what, 81% position at the moment. Getting even higher. Now nicely taken by McWannell. Ricky Riccatelli waiting for this one at the back of the rolling maul. That was really what the Blues worked upon. Alongside Taranaki, any team that with Ricky Riccatelli in there knows how to use a rolling maul to their advantage. Good tackle made by Ngātoa Koi, rolls that time. Now short side for Caleb Clark with the pick and go. Ball's still there for the Blues. Tuonga Fasi, Ricky Riccatelli lurking right next to that breakdown. Loves carry next to the ruck. Instead, this time they go to the big man, Patrick Tuipolotu. Now, Segner's ended up in front of him there to avoid giving away that penalty. We have go there. The Blues should call themselves that. And give another teams the Blues, says Eric. And go the Blues, says Dan Dans. Now across to Rico Ioane. Had a bit of a try-scoring drought last season for the Blues. In fact, did he score in the end? That's a penalty to the Chiefs. Nice work over the ball. And Ngātoa Koi, the man who gets the penalty back. You like teams to do for the tries, Hamish? Threes don't do it for you, says Robert. I just know that Super Rugby, no teams too often go for the threes. And I enjoy a little bit of early aggression. Definitely when you've got your opposition scrambling. Like 81% possession, there is absolutely no reason to take a three-pointer there other than to give them a chance at getting back at you and getting a three of their own. Like in that case, you go for the corner, you go for the jugular, you put your foot down, and unfortunately for them here, just narrowly missing out, but it would have been a tough kick for Plummer anyway. So yeah, you have a crack. You see what happens. Three-pointers don't win games, just ask the Rebels. Oh wait, they're no longer a club because they unfortunately weren't good enough because they went for a lot of threes. But also a few of the other things behind the scenes, but that didn't help them in terms of attendances and whatnot. Going for the tries is more entertaining than going for threes. It makes for better rugby, says Kerr. And well done the Chiefs, says David the Mod. Today we got many matches, says Charles. Yep, plenty of games that are all taking place. I do see Summer Penny Finau, Anton Leonard Brown, Cortez Ratama, just to name a few, coming off the bench for the Chiefs. And Blues must not go the Crusaders' way. Ashamed of their Crusaders' epic tradition and history, says Eric. Now Brody McAllister for the Chiefs. Gonna throw this ball in. Now Xavier Rowe. I'm back into the pocket to Josh Jacob. It's a decent boot down towards the Blues 22. Bowden Barrett has Plummer running with him, and he will be chasing after this kick, swirling in the breeze. And well taken by Rowe. Now Boshier off to McKenzie, who cuts through the defensive line and is dragged down 25 out. Quickly used by the Chiefs. They'll go off to the right-hand side now. Naitoa Akoi sells the dummy. Who you're in for in the Six Nations? Honestly, I don't really have a favourite team. I just hope that it all comes down to the last round. So, like, as bad as it sounds, like, because Ireland at the moment are undefeated, for me to really get hyped up about that last round, they do have to drop a game at some point so that more than just one side has a chance of winning. But their game up against France, that would make things intriguing if France were the team to get the victory there, just for the overall excitement of the competition. Now 10 metres out from the line, Leroy Carter going to be playing half. Of course, in a game of sevens, you can find yourself as halfback at any point of the game. Now Xavier Rowe, they've got themselves another penalty advantage here. Looks like the Blues, they're tiring here. Leroy Carter, some fancy footwork, but he will be driven into touch. No space to work with, and they'll go back for the penalty. Now, this one for the Chiefs, I believe would make more sense if they were going to opt for the 3, but I could still see them kicking for the corner. They're in a good position at the moment, and they'll want to test that rolling maul out. McKenzie looks like he is certain that they are kicking for the corner, and that's exactly what they're going to do. And come on, Chiefs, get a try, says Novmum. 2 penalties conceded against the Blue early on in this matchup. Morning, Tim. When I see you appear, I know my missus is about to message. You serve as a pre-earning, and I appreciate it, says Kerr there. Yeah, we have got Kernovik in the chat too. Makes it better when the Kiwi lads have a good one going on. Says Kernovik. Oh, close to the try line here for the Chiefs, 5 metres out. In fact, Leroy Carter makes it within 2. If not, maybe even closer, trying to lock over the ball here. I think Segner's got there, hasn't he? No, he's given away the advantage. No roll away. And now just short of the try line. They don't quite get over, and there's a knock on from the Chiefs just out from the line again. I'm watching the game on TV. We have got there, what's the release date of Rugby 25? It came out 2 days ago. But I would definitely not buy it yet. I would wait until they fix the gameplay because, like, yes, the players look realistic, but it looks as far from realism as it can when they run around on the field and can't do anything, really. I realise this is a club. The Box scored 0 tries and 3 of their 4 World Cup finals, 2 tries in 2019. That may be the case, but in Super Rugby, very rarely does a team win just by taking the 3s, which was the main point of it. Yes, the Springboks may have done it in international rugby. Test matches are different. You want to take the points when they're available. But Super Rugby, all you got to do is look at the scores for this weekend and realise 3 points ain't getting you nowhere. It might get you the narrow victory, but it isn't going to win you the game solely. Now going off across to Naitoa Akoi. He's very close to the line now, just short. In fact, where is the ball? There it is. About to say, he's inches from the try line there, Naitoa Akoi, who will get back up and he'll want another go. Another penalty advantage against the Blues. The ill discipline of last season is kicking in a little bit. Josh Jacob goes to McKenzie. Wrestled down by Talia. Oh, and that's another knock on. And 12 minutes in, and it's the most exciting game so far, says Kerr. And this is sounding like a last-minute warning, or a last warning, I should say, for the Blues here for the amount of penalties that they're giving away. Is Tavatavanawa eligible for the ABs? I believe so. As long as Ioane is at the centres, Blues will not score tries out the back, says Crosimus. And League, you need bonus point to be on top of the table. It's not enough to only win, says Kerr. And yeah, that's the thing. In Super Rugby, they make it purposely that you need 3 or more tries than your opposition to cause sides to really go aggressive. And it's only the real one-sided games that you get rewarded for. So, it's pouring down now. Going to be a wet day in Auckland. By the looks of it, just half an inch from the line there, the Chiefs. I'll be disappointed not to quite be able to get there. And the Chiefs now have decided they've had a bit of time down here. They haven't been able to bust through this Blues defence. They will now go for the 3. Which is actually, it's an interesting choice, I do have to say, because The Blues just got given their last warning. So surely you push that. You try and get them given away another offside advantage just out from their line, and then you end up in that situation of yellow card playing 14. Yeah, it's like 60 or 70 points a game so far, says Glenn Woods. And poor call, says Kerr. Yeah, they had them under pressure. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not it backfires for them. Good low tackle made by Caleb Clark. Now they're back inside of their own 22 here, the Chiefs. Should have pushed them more, says Kerr. Yeah, it was interesting that they went for the 3. Yeah, whatever happens in the next kind of minute or so will tell us whether that was a good choice. Kick for touch from Rowe. And to his credit, that is a very good clearing kick. Gets them back down towards the halfway line. It's actually quite a cool thing that they've done on the field. A little bit confusing because I didn't work out why they had done it for a start. But they've put 150 on for the halfway line. And that is, of course, for Ofa Toinga Fasi. Brings up its 150th game for the Blues here. But of course, it does not represent that they're 150 metres out from the try line, or else that's a very long run. Taufa Funaki now goes back across to the Centurion and a half off Toinga Fasi and the Chiefs. That was their ball in the breakdown, and they will win the penalty. It was a classic professional foul by the Blues, says David the Mod. Yeah, they're probably not mad about giving away 3 points there because they were right on their own goal line, on the verge of conceding or going to the bin. Now the Chiefs kicking this one towards the touchline. And Springboks versus All Blacks this year at Garden of Eden. Can't wait. Says Reflecting Trees. 2025 trend as everybody goes for the corner. When it's still early, says Rock My Balls. Yep. That seems to be, the tactic. I would say, who have we seen go for the 3 early? I'm trying to think whether or not the Tars or the Highlanders did, but I think both of them pretty much throughout the whole game had the mindset that unless absolutely necessary, they would go for the corner. Simon Parker, 20 metres out from the line here for the Chiefs. Jacobson, this is back where the Chiefs want to be. 20 metres from the All Blacks, the Blues. Try line, loose ball knocked on. That's not what they would have wanted. And it's going to be the scrum feed now. Blues feed. First scrum of the game, I believe, and we're 15 minutes in. We're about to see the pack weights. We saw 950 earlier on. Then for the Fijian draw, I believe they were the lightest 4-pack with 866. So the Blues here, nope, we've got the penalty count. 5 against the Blues, 1 against the Chiefs as we currently sit. So just a little bit, like I said, ill-disciplined from the home side. That rain looks like it's gotten a bit lighter, which is ideal. We're into it again. Ofa Toinga Fasi got those tattoos all over him. They tried to replicate some of them in Rugby 25. Pack weight's 929 kgs for the Blues, 907 for the Chiefs. Canes took 3s and arguably cost them the game. Says Kerr. That is true. They were up by 8 at one. Oh, were they up by 8? They did sneak a 3 in there every once in a while, didn't they? And good teams are good at either kicking or running games. Great teams are great at kicking and running games, and we'll use each as needed. AB's team of 2015, Bop team 2019 to today. Says Eric. And was that a knock-on for the Waratahs last try last night? Then we watched the replay. At first I thought it was, but then I looked at the replay and I believe that Lambert tried to pick the ball up but fell forward and pretty much didn't move the ball. The angle that we had was awful to try and see it though, but error from Caleb Clark. He wasn't even expecting that pass. Now the Blues looking for the counter ruck. They will get it, and now it's going to be the scrum feed for the Chiefs. So it took 15 minutes to get one scrum. Now we got 2 within 2 minutes. But yeah, I don't think he actually knocked it on. It looked like it, and I'd love to see that other angle, but we never got to. But yeah, from what I saw in the replays that we watched about 3 or 4 times afterwards, we went back and kind of watched it closely, and it looked like he went for it, but then just fell to the side. Took 2 3s instead of 7 and lost by 8. says Kerr. Yep, so it can cost you. 929 kgs, that's how much my neighbour's cat weighs. That's a heavy cat, mate. I think that's a cow, normally is what they call it when it's that big. Does it moo? It's got a hat-trick versus the Chiefs in the 2024 final is the stat that's just come up for Caleb Clark. Wouldn't mind one of those again here today. Now Rowe, going off to the left-hand side to Quinn Tupaia, tackled by Lamb. It's opposite number. Now kicked him behind Rowe, playing a little bit of territory and does get it into touch about 20 metres out from the Blues line. If I was captain, I would only go for the threes. It's a simple kick. Or if it's a simple kick, otherwise I would kick for touch. And yeah, like for the Chiefs in their case, when they took their three before, it was straight out in front. There was no chance of missing it. And I guess they had seen the Blues down the other end. They went for the corner, though it would have been a much more challenging kick. But at the moment, they're still on 0. Nicely taken by Lachlan McWannell. Kicked high from Harry Plummer. Taken by Leroy Carter. Goes off to McKenzie. Puts in the step and gets round Dalton Papali'i. Now Rowe. Goes to Jacob. George Dyer. Almost a bit of a goosey coming from the big man. Now Ngātaua Koi gets the inside ball from his locking teammate, Lord. Rowe. Back across there, McKenzie. Cutting it out wide. Nicely done to Daniel Rona. Very underutilised player, I would say, in some regards, in terms of the next level up from the Chiefs. Would certainly fit into that 13 jersey for the ABs if the call-up was there. I'll get Sky Sport for the quarterfinals, etc., says Max. You see, that's the thing. You could get away with just getting a month pass once we're almost at the finals. Like if you got a month pass for June, you get all the finals of the Premiership Rugby. I think the Champions Cup final maybe takes place there as well. So you've got that side of things that you can get for your money. In June, you're also looking at, what's the other comp that normally, I mean the NRL finals almost, I think. They're around the same time, aren't they? So you get quite a bit in June if you were to get that month or the month prior. Another penalty, 5 in a row against the Blues. Now Damien McKenzie, he will kick this one towards the corner, watching the Māori Ngāwahine versus Indigenous ladies whilst listening to your stream. Says Reflecting Trees. Yeah, busy weekend in terms of sport. There's been cricket on, rugby league is in full effect with pre-season as well as the Indigenous All-Stars matches. And then Super Rugby opening round as well. The All Blacks are 2 in July. I will definitely get, says Max. Looks like we've got a bit of a stoppage here. Might be a water break. And Ricky Riccatelli just getting a little bit of medical attention to his arms. I'd say it's probably either up in there or the neck. He's having a bit of trouble with. I almost butchered that. Had to get the finger in there. That sounds a bit weird. Love the shirt, Hamish, says Chris. Yeah, I think 2 live streams or 2 days in a row I've worn a shirt that I haven't worn on any other streams, which is hard to do now because we've done, like we learned earlier on, about 1,800 live streams on the channel. Rowe with the ball off to Quinn Tupaia. Thanks for streaming this. I can't afford Sky. Much love, brother. Says Music Rocks. No worries at all. And yeah, we are going to be here for a lot of the games of Super Rugby. That's a penalty to the Blues. Lachlan McWannell gets over it. Oh, bit of push there from Mark Delia on Xavier Rowe. Bit of feeling in this game. His stream is sponsored by Puma. So he has to wear it. That's just not true. We almost had a sponsorship deal about a week ago, but I learned that the ones who were doing it were actually scammers. And they wanted me to sign a contract, but that would have pretty much put a virus onto my computer, and then they would have taken my channel and then uploaded like crypto things on it. So that was not ideal. So yeah, we're still sponsorship-less for the last about 2 years, something like that. Yeah, the last regular season games for the NRL is Sunday, September the 7th. Now, I've taken too long there. So that's a massive mistake made by the Blues, which actually means the free kick goes the way of the Chiefs. Now, off to the right-hand side, Naitoa Akoi. Now, Luke Jacobson, Tui Pilotu looking for that turnover. Bloody hell, those damn scammers got all the tricks, eh? Says Glenn. Yeah, so if you randomly see any YouTube channels of guys that you normally watch, not even just rugby related, but like their channel randomly either disappears or anything like that, that's probably why, because a scammer's gone in and hacked them, pretty much. And Blues still have the Blues Babalas. After last year's trophy party, they look flat. And my Facebook got hacked 2 days ago. Haven't still got it back, says Max. But now, Xavier Rowe goes back across to Quintu Paya. And he's going to break through. Only about 10 metres out from the line now. Caleb Clark went for the turnover in the breakdown. He's done just enough to get it back onto the side of the home team. And Barrett boots it into touch. Sponsored by Hippos. That is true. The Hippos were the sponsor at one point. Everyone will be very confused. And cheers, bro. You're a lifesaver. I'm in Japan. I just spent an hour trying to set up a VPN, which Sky block. Says Gideon. If you've got a VPN, check out StanSport as an option. If you set yourself to Australia, they might be the better way of watching these games. Because, yeah, like you said, Sky make it very difficult. But if you have got, like, StanSport as an option, you've got a free trial as well for, I think it's 7 days, just in case it doesn't work, and it might be worth a bit of a crack. Right, tackle releases the call there again. Taufa Funaki. And 0-3 crazy, says Eric. Yeah, and we're already 24 minutes through. It has been flying by. It's been fast-paced rugby too. Okay, good tip, says Gideon. Yeah, hopefully it does work. I want an arm wrestle this game. Now, Taufa Funaki. Papali goes back across to Plummer. That was a fingertip from Barrett. Ref says he didn't see it. Now Barrett got the ball again to Leno. Instead goes for the little grubber of mine. Kicks it forward and it's gone into touch. Just couldn't quite get it to drift in enough. And we're going back for yet again another penalty. This time though, it is against the Chiefs. Beauden Barrett always that X factor back in New Zealand now after a stint in Japan. 156 matches. And 1,400 plus points. Love your commentary, bro, says Chris. Thank you very much. We are going to be back for 2 games of the URC later on tonight. Grubber is underused. Says Kurt. That's, yeah. Like, to be fair, like, if they went to it a bit more, then I'm not sure about those little chips. You see the little chips more often than the grubbers, and the little chips aren't always great. But, you know, just a little grubber. They often overcook it, don't they, and kick it down, and then it just goes to the opposition fullback. But just behind the goal line, like he's done there, or not behind the goal line, sorry, behind the defensive line. I'd rather watch your commentary than the game. Says Chris. Yeah, we've still got plenty more coming up. Like I said, 2 URC games that we are going to be covering on the channel back-to-back. First one starting at 1:20 a.m. New Zealand time. Is this normal? Says Eric. It's actually not. Believe it or not, this is a very low-scoring game. But both of these sides' defences have been holding up extremely well. Grubber in the wet instead of the chip behind. Taufa Funaki going off to the left now. Anton Segner. So with us sitting 26 minutes in, ladies and gents, I want to know, who do you guys think will be the first try scorer, the exact player? Who can get it done? I'm thinking, honestly, Blues forwards, if they keep on crashing towards the line, might not be a terrible option. Beauden Barrett slips the ball out the back door for Patrick Tuipulotu. Oh, is that legal, the way that Kalen Boshier did that? No, it's not. And that is going to be now the penalty to the Blues. They could take 3 here to get back to 3-all. Might not be a terrible option just with where we are in the game now. And Leroy, oh, you're going Leroy Carter. D-Mac, says Chris Hayes. Yeah, this is a simple kick for Plummer. But they don't want it. They're kicking for the corner again. They're thinking Ricky Riccatelli might be the guy for a rolling maul try. Rowe to score, says Kerr. Well, wasn't the best kick from Plummer. They'll be about 10 metres out from the line. It will be hard to drive from here, but not impossible. Commentators just saying maybe the Blues are trying to remind everyone that this is their turf, hence why they keep on going aggressive. But They have to eventually get something to work and get that try on the board, or else they could leave a little bit disappointed. Ricky Riccatelli, though, throwing it in. Nicely claimed by Patrick Tuipulotu, and a very well set maul, although it's gone down, so they have to use it earlier than anticipated. Ricky Riccatelli does well to keep himself on his feet for a little bit longer. Mark Talia with the pick and go around the side of the breakdown. Anton Seg, oh, that might have been a knock on the ground from him. They've got the advantage, though. Chiefs were offside. Ricky Riccatelli goes to Dalton Papali'i, and he will slam the ball over the line for the first try of the season for the Blues. Found it on Channel 4 this game, as well as Moana versus Force. And you asked who will score first, then immediately said his name, Bowden Barrett. Well, his name was Dalton Papali'i. Terrible refereeing, says Scott Miller. And also, Blues on attack, probably going to be one of them to score first. And boo, says Novmum. Papali'i getting through. Terrible refereeing, says Scott. And yeah, just getting out of that tackle attempt of Josh Jacob, who really didn't slow him down much at all. Got his head in the wrong place. Probably lucky not to end up sitting down with a sore head. Now Bowden Barrett, he's on kicking responsibilities today. He's an interesting man when it comes to the goal kicking. He's had times where he can't miss. He's had times where he can't aim. That one has gone over, and that's now going to make the score 7 points to 3 in favour of the Blues after 29 minutes. Push that like button, said the Mad Māori. Yeah, Jacob, just unfortunately, as Papali'i was dipping as well, he never really got a good wrap on him. Be a low scoring or low try scoring game. Says Chris, although normally one thing that happens with these New Zealand sides is once one team score, everyone just keeps on going. So I feel like that might be the case here again, perhaps. Now Josh Jacob kicks it off. Nicely taken by Bowden Barrett under the high ball, about 30 metres out from the Blues line. A little bit of a counter-ruck coming there from the Chiefs. Nothing doing, though. Now Tuanga Fasi. His 150th match in the blue. Funaki just creating a little bit of a wall here for himself so that he can kick this one up. Who is your papa? I think that is from Eric. Maybe. On the halfway line. Be Cortez Ratama. Going across to Josh Lord. Now Rowe to McKenzie. Oh, nice step from Nanai Satoro, who's got the link to stream. Says Gel Cake. Unfortunately, the only real links are like Sky Sports, Stan Sport, those type of ones. Depending on where you are in the world, I do recommend checking out the Super Rugby website because that has got the other options depending on what country you're in. Might have to subscribe next week, Hamish. Says Chris Hayes. Now Plummer. Good low tackle made on him. Natoa Akoyi was on the ball. And cannot quite win the penalty. Bit of a tip tackle on Bowden Barrett. Any live stream, says Tangarona Roa. Only really Sky Sport. Although someone said that it's also on Channel 4 by the sounds of it. So if you've got some sort of, I think Channel 4 would mean you need free view on demand. That might be an option. The ball is still there once again. Taufa Funaki, he was told to use it. He's not happy. But it take a little bit too long to deal with that ball. Taufa Funaki, the pressure is on in those breakdowns. Plummer, he will kick this ball into touch. Okay, so just making sure that he knew the rule there from the referee. He said the ball was out, you had your hands on it, which to be fair, he does. So I'm not sure what Taufa Funaki was not happy about. And cheers, brother, says Jail Cake. And now, throw in for Brody McAllister, claimed by Jacobson at the back. Now Rowe. After Tupaia. What reason Bowden Barrett playing for the Blues, Hammy, says Spider-Mick? Well, he's had time at the Blues, of course, in the past. He's finished his stint in Japan. Decided might as well go there again. And plus, it keeps him eligible for the ABs, which is obviously something he's got in his sights for the next year or two. But McKenzie, all lined up by Tuanga Fasi. He's going to get smashed by his own teammate there. I think Ollie Norris got more of a hit on him. Josh Lord with the little pop pass up. Marcel Renata off his feet. Just praising the handling of both of these sides. Seeing very little drops, which of course now means someone will drop the ball. Josh Lord clubbing shot on him. My Anton seeing that off at Tuangafasi, who doesn't look too flash. No, he's all right. No, is he? He's sitting still at the moment, Tuangafasi. He's down. I don't know whether or not that's a HIA kind of thing. Or no, that's a knee. Left knee for Tuangafasi does not look good at the moment. He's going to try and continue playing. They might put a bit of strapping on it in the near future. The last thing you want is to lose that man in his milestone game. Now Rowe sold the dummy, gets it away to Leroy Carter. Shows that power that he has. Bounces back up to his feet. Oh, Taufa Funaki's now down with an injury by the looks of it. His shoulder dangling. Now Rowe goes back across to the left. Naito Akoi chopped down. Another advantage. That's for no arms from the Blues. They're a danger when they're this close to their posts. Cross kick from McKenzie goes straight to Caleb Clark. Normally, if he said that for the All Blacks, you'd be happy. But in Super Rugby, that means that they've lost the ball. Barrett family not originally from Blues area. No, they're Taranaki boys. Whereas they normally play for, at the moment, 3 different Super Rugby clubs. Scott in the South Island. You got Barrett in terms of Bowden at the Blues, and then Geordie for the Hurricanes. Great run from Leroy Carter. Showing the danger that he brings. And the Blues are offside, surely, says David the Mod. And yeah, there was also a no-arms tackle in there. Looks like they're going to take on the 3 again here, the Chiefs. I don't know about that one. If it got them in the lead, I'd say 100% yes. But once again, the Blues are very ill-disciplined just out from their line. McKenzie will tap over the 3, though. That's going to make the score 7 points to 6. Geordie is at Leinster Hamish. That is true, on a sabbatical, but he's still signed to the Canes. But now, 5 minutes remaining. This half has gone fast, the way that it's going. Hopefully we get to see maybe one more opportunity to score points for the end of the half. Nicely taken there. Big attack and run forward from Luke Jacobson. Out only 1 try this half, says Chris, and there's a knock on. And it means now that the Blues have got themselves, the scrum ref is favouring the Blues, says Scott Miller. This is going to be in a very good position. It's a long way to Taranaki. It's a long way to home, says Kurno Wick. Some would even say that about Scott Barrett being in the South Island. A bit of a trip, long walk, but just the knock on the ground. Not a good bit of ball security there. I think a Papali might do the Hopawati to Bodie. They don't look out who's the ref tonight. So ref tonight, I believe, is... Oh, who's this bloke? Name off the top of the head isn't coming to me. I'll have a quick look though. Maybe. Oh, I won't do it on there though, because then that lags badly. But he's the Aussie fella. Slightly gingy hair. I keep thinking Angus Gardner, but he is not the ref in charge of this one. Oh, speaking of gingers, there's Finlay Christie. He's going to be making his way off the bench in the second half alongside Cole Forbes, who had some great moments last season. I just cooked pasta bake for dinner. It's cooling down. Good job. Cold swim, says Kurno Wick. And this just be why he's penalised them so much, says Gideon. And that's the Blues. They never settled every game they play. The orange traffic light, says Gideon. But now the Blues in position 25 metres out from the line. Funaki, he looks like he's recovered well from a shoulder injury. Bounce pass out to Caleb Clark. Leroy Carter having a cut infield. The orange traffic light, and still only 2:45 p.m. here in Perth, says the man Maori. Now Funaki. It might be Ruben Keane. There's for some reason a name that's coming to my head. He always slows things down. And my favourite, Glenn says Si. Real physical in the breakdowns at the moment. Ricky Riccatelli. Again with the pick and go here. Now Tui Pelotu tackled by Naito Akoi. Pick and go from off of Tuangafasi. It's great to see that he's all right after that knee injury, but that's going to be a steal there for the Chiefs. I think it was Kalen Boshier got in over the ball. These two sides have matched each other so well throughout the first 38 minutes. Taking some deep breaths at the moment. Kalen Boshier feeling it. And good morning, Hamish and friends, says Rhea. Welcome in. Hope you are doing extremely well. As D-Mac playing, he is indeed. He's playing at 15 in this game. Josh Jacob as the 10 for the Chiefs. Chiefs will win, says Siru Waya. Just got very isolated there, Tuangafasi. Like, it wasn't a massive amount of time before his teammates arrived, but it was just that split second, which was enough for Kalen Boshier to get in there and take it away. Breakdown steal so far, 3 for the Chiefs. That's my favourite player, says Siru. Nicely slapped by Naito Akoi. Looked like it was a little bit overthrown. Leroy Carter hurdles over the slippery Ricky Riccatelli, who was sliding like a penguin along the turf. Now Naito Akoi, pick and go, bent awkwardly by Lachlan McWannell. Now Carter again will try make a couple extra metres next to the breakdown. Kick low from Xavier Rowe. Keeping it in the field of play was Caleb Clark. Now across to Bowden Barrett, taken outside the 22. Isn't able to find touch with it. McKenzie overrides the call. Does very well to hang on to that ball because it almost slipped out. Goes almost through the line as well. Now Rowe. Back across to the left-hand side. Josh Jacob pops it up to Daniel Rona. Offloads it to Josh Lord. Sells the dummy. And Taufa Funaki was not falling for it. Dalton Papali'i. Clean steal in the breakdown. And Blues now with 50 seconds remaining will get the last crack of the half. Passes out to Talia. Kalen Boshier got the ankle tap. Inside ball to AJ Lamb. And he slides over for the second try of the match for the Blues. And boot times 50 like a penguin, says Glenn Woods. And it's a tough ask for the Blues to play the Chiefs in their backyard, says Spider Mick. Wait. Ask for the Blues to play the Chiefs in their back. As in, you're saying it's hard for the Blues to be at home against the Chiefs? Is that the gist of it? A great steal from Dalton Papali'i. And then from there, the counter-attack. Mark Talia. He does extremely well to stay balanced. He got ankle tapped and still had the ability to get that pass on the inside. And then just way too much slipperiness to be able to stop him from that close. Damon Murphy, that's the one. And also over there, who's the kicker for the Chiefs? They have been going with Damian McKenzie, 12-6, says Eric. And up the loose says Chris Hayes. And yes, Sammy says Spider Mick in there as well. Now, Bowden Barrett. Once this one goes out, it will be halftime in this matchup. Good try, says Eric. And Barrett adds the extras. And that is now going to make the score 14-6. At the end of the first half. The Eden Park crowd loving what they've seen so far. Yes, it's not as high scoring as some of the other games, but there's been some great defensive work from both of these sides. We'll have to wait to see if it continues throughout the second half as well. Papa Steele, says Eric. And $200 for the Blues win Hammy, says Spider Mick. And 2-0, says Chris Hayes. And that's the thing. The Chiefs have gone a little bit defensive minded, haven't they? They've been going for the threes rather than the fives, and they find themselves now down by 8, which could be a bit of a concerning scoreline as we get closer to the end of the match. And yes, please go the Blues, says Robert. They're selling a bag of carrots. It's like they say, like it's a snack for the road. So take a 250 gram bag of carrots with you. They'll have very good eyesight. Whoever's having them, referee Damon Murphy. Says Stuart Moore. And we go there, yes, please go the Blues. Says Robert. And Chiefs need to go out all attack to get back in this match. And it'll be a game of two halves, as Fitzy used to say. Well, that's the thing. Like, the Chiefs, to their credit, like, for their 6 points, they've looked pretty solid. The Chiefs have been the slightly more disciplined side, And then when the Blues have given away the penalties, I just don't think the Chiefs have been attacking minded enough. Because if the Blues are giving away one or two more just out from their goal line, someone was going to the bin. And then that's a massive advantage for that 10 minutes. Arami has said nice game. And they call him the body. Or the Bodie, I think that is. He's a wild one chasing the ultimate rush. Because he can't swim to New Zealand. Cliffs on both sides. Says Sai, I have no idea what you're talking about. But welcome in. Hope you're keeping well. But second half will be intriguing to see how the Chiefs use their bench and how early they go to it. Looking through, they've got Tupavai, Samapeni Finau, Kotes Ratama, Anton Leonard-Brown, and Moni Narawa, all men who have had minutes in that All Blacks kit throughout 2024. For the Blues, they've got their fair share of decent players, though. They've got Adrian Choke, Shay Clark from the Sevens side of things. Cole Forbes, like I said, last year did pretty well when he was called upon. Finley Christie is there too. And then the experience of Angus Ta'avao. Been keeping up with Super since 96. Never a dull moment, says Kerno Rick. Yeah, it does seem like if we're just basing Super Rugby's season off this opening round, it's going to be a good one. Point Break, the movie, sorry mate, says Sai. Yeah, see, I haven't seen many movies at all. So I'm terrible with my movie references. In fact, this is what we're going to do during this halftime break. It's a random thing, just come up with it. Sai's given the idea. Everyone who can remember one, write a movie quote in the chat. Don't put who said it in that movie. And I bet you I'll get 99, if not all of them, wrong. I won't get a single one right unless it's like a very easy one. But yeah, movie quote in the chat, no chance. And hi Hamish, Happy New Year's and go the Blues, says Natasha. Happy New Year to you as well. Hopefully the year has been going brilliantly so far. Signor, if I pronounce it right, Hemi, says Spider Mech. Yeah, we've just seen the 2 tries so far for the Blues. One for Dalton Papali, the other for AJ Lamb. And then for the Chiefs, they were extremely close to scoring, but just didn't quite get over the line in the end. In terms of stats, you call that a knife, that's not a knife, this is a knife. See, my first thought was something like Rambo? Maybe, just because that seems like something that has a knife in it. Well, that's probably a bigger knife than a small one. Okay, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, says David the Mod. But yeah, anyone who hasn't already, of course, be sure to do that. We're back with plenty more Super Rugby next week. There are a few big games that are taking place. The Blues, Crocodile Dundee. Well, Punk, are you feeling lucky? That's in a movie, and that's like a real generic, like one that everyone should know, but I don't know which one it's from, which I'm sure would make people very disappointed. And I'll be back, says Ruck and Rumble. Can I trouble you for a glass of warm milk? Helps me get to sleep. Oh, that's Happy Gilmore, isn't it? You'll learn slowly that my movie that I have seen is random compared to the other ones. Follow the White Rabbit, no idea. Eastwood and Dirty Harry, says Kerno Wick. Yeah, anyone who is just tuning in now, 8-point difference between these two sides. The Blues on 14, 6 for the Chiefs. No try coming as of yet. For the Chiefs, that is. Blues have got 2. The Matrix. Okay, no, haven't seen it. Doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning. Some sports movie, I would assume, that would be in. Go ahead, make my day. That's another one, don't know. Pop, get pizza for cat. Nah. If you're not first, you're last. I didn't realise that was from a movie. I thought that was just something some people say. Yippee, yay, yay. Mother, nah. I have no movie knowledge. It's actually really sad that the only one that I've got was Happy Gilmore. Flight of the Concorde still going in New Zealand? I don't know. I think they would be. Say hello to my little friend. That's that movie with it's like a not a mafia, but it's like the mob boss thing. I can't remember the name of it though. My mule doesn't like people laugh. This crazy idea, you laughing at him, apologise to my mule. That one's nut. Don't know. Shake and bake, Hamish. Shake and bake is if you're not first. What is shake and bake about? Is that like, I can't think of what move, like sport that would be off. Al Pacino. Scarface. Ah, yeah, that's the one. I'll be back. It's one of the Terminators. Couldn't tell you what Terminator movie it was. I assume the original one. And Dalton is carrying the first 40 up the Blues, says Alicia. Yeah, he's looked great out there. Managed to get himself the early try, plus getting that big turnover that actually led to the next try for the Blues. It's also a great run down the wing from Mark D'Elia, though. Godfather, says Honori. Luke, I am your father. That's one of the Star Wars. Couldn't tell you which one. Get to the chopper. That's also one of the Terminator ones, isn't it? That isn't Terminator, isn't it? And Lamb scoring in the 40th minute. Settle up, lock and load. No, I feel like this has just made me feel bad about my movie knowledge. I thought that this was a good idea. I thought I'd get half of them. I've got 1.5, maybe, if I'm lucky. Now, there's a song going on in the background. There's a lady singing, but I can't tell who it is. I don't think I know her. Platoon, 4 more years, boys, says the man Maori. They're talking to John Arfoa, who's now the TAB New Zealand host. That's an interesting one. Blues 1-12, sitting as the $2.15 option. And Predator, says Sean. Wait, so it's not from Terminator. Just say to yourself, Hammy, do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? And Full Metal Jacket. I live my life at a quarter mile at a time. And I'm a busy man. None of these are ringing a bell at all. And yes, box 3, a 1-point victory says it all. A World Cup number 4 in 2023. Sometimes these 1-point victories are much more enjoyable than 50-point victory. Says Eric. And are you okay? All right. I'm putting cases on all you bros. I'll never let go, Jack. That's Titanic, isn't it? I've never watched it. I know that quote though. Also, Rose proceeds to let go. Second half, a lot of talent off the bench for the Chiefs. Amoni Narawa, Anton Leonard-Brown, Cortez Aratama, Tupavai, Samapini Finau, all the All Blacks that they have got available. And Taka Waititi, famous NZ movie called Boy, says Glenn Woods there. I think I've watched that ages ago, but I don't remember any of it, other than the fact that it's got a boy in it. I know Kung Fu, says Marcel, and watch the Fast and Furious movies. That's where the quotes come from. I've never seen any of them. There's like 9 now, isn't there? Or Furious. How many are they up to? Fast and Furious. Get up your son, a B, because Mickey loves you. Nah. I've got terrible knowledge of movies. That's soon, when it's not so busy, we're going to have a goal that I have to watch a movie every week and let you know about it on one of the halftime breaks. That'll be the goal. And we have there Rocky, says Si. And The Matrix, says Marcel there too. But currently, if we had to try and pick, because everyone's still doing the movie quotes, which is just showing me my lack of movie knowledge. If we had to pick first try scorer of the second half, the exact player, who would you guys go with? Now, first half it was Dalton Papali'i, which was no one's pick. But this time we've got a little bit more time to pick. Who are you going with? First try scorer. Could be someone on the field. Could be someone making their way off the bench. I just wonder whether if the Chiefs got an early penalty, whether they would go for the 3 again, though, to get them within the 5. Caleb Clark, you go with, says Si. Who am I thinking? I think that one of those Blues front rowers, Anton Leonard-Brown, says Glenn Woods. Okay, so making his way off the bench to then score that try. Dylan says yes. yeah, it'll be an interesting one. See exactly who is the guy can change the momentum. If the Blues score again now, it's going to be getting a lot closer to what the score was the last time that these two sides played in the Super Rugby final. Pretty one-sided. Game before that separated, I believe it was by about 14 points. But the Chiefs scored late enough that then took away the Blues winning bonus point. And then that meant that the Blues were away from home, or would have been away from home in the final had it been the Hurricanes go all the way. Bowden's enjoys scoring. So I had to say him again. And also, Chiefs going to bring out the big guns in the second half, says Glenn Woods. And Papa, second try. Who is Papa? I assume that, who is that? That could be a lot of them. Talia, says Marcel. Peter Pan, why do you have plates and forks when there's no food? Lost Boy, we've got plates and forks, so we don't have to use them. Wait, so did they have food or not? Dalton, Papa Lee. See, here's Glenn. And also, we got the Chiefs going to bring out the big guns, and these bums aren't helping my fantasy team. So who's the one that you've got that you need to have a really big one in terms of your fantasy? I know that Will Jordan got some fantasy points I saw. I still don't know completely how fantasy works, but people were like very happy about him playing a good game of rugby. And Chiefs need to get someone on. And final at Eden Park, Blues back-to-back, says Spider-Mech. So a lot of confidence early on, 40 minutes into their season. I do have to say, though, they might struggle to get to the final if they do give away as many penalties throughout the season as they've given away in this game, because clinical teams will punish them. And they've been all but in terms of being able to break through. And we have got there, Caleb Clark says Anori, or Anori, I should say. Bowden Barrett, Blues number 1 and Blues number 13. So Bowden Barrett, Ofa Toingafasi, and Rico. Oh, you were brave picking Rico in your fantasy team. Is he unfortunately sometimes is very quiet. Just like last year. Clayton McMillan, overplaying in the middle of the field is what he said in the coaching interview. Come on, the Chiefs, don't make me sad, says Novamum. And they're going to lose to us next week. Come on, guys. That is, of course, referring to the Highlanders Super Rugby Trans-Tasman final rematch taking place next week, and Super Rugby Aotearoa final between the Chiefs and the Crusaders also going to be happening next weekend. No changes to either starting lineup here. If they're going to stick it out for that little bit longer. I definitely think the changes off the bench, that's going to be the difference. My name is Michael Caine. Got to get that one. I don't know who Michael Caine is. Michael Caine. Nah, doesn't ring a bell. I believe we can win. What do you think, says PSG? The Highlanders, they'll have to play well. Like, they did decently up against the Waratahs, although they did concede a lot of points as well as scoring a lot. So if they can shore up that defence just that little bit more, they'll be a handful. This year, Moana Pacifica beat Crusaders, then I'm Monkey's uncle. Says Music Rocks. Seems like a very random game just to bring up. But if it happens, it would be massive. And I mean, Moana Pacifica and Fijian draw, they have caused a few upsets along the way throughout the years. That would certainly be a big one. All right, that's going to be knocked on early from the Blues. Now the Chiefs are in possession. Xavier Rowe goes back across Naitoa Koi. In the middle of the field, they want to try, and they will need it relatively soon just to make sure that the Blues don't drift away with this contest. Now Rowe, that was playing the 9. Papali'i penalised. Google Michael Caine Hamish, he was a busy actor. I've never heard of him. My mum's laughing in the background, I hear. She obviously knows who he is. Maybe. Yep, she said yep, but I have no idea. Now, if you list a few movies he's been in, I could tell you. My mum just, I heard in the background, said you won't know them. It's a bit sad, isn't it? 9 penalties against the Blues at the moment. And 4 against the Chiefs. This Blues ill-discipline could cost them here. Let's go the Blues, says Gabriel. Xavier, my fantasy captain, says PSG. Hi, Mumsy, says Music Rocks. Now line out throw taken by Naitoa Akui. Trying to get it slightly moving towards the goal line. And to their credit, it's very, very slowly marching. Blues, did they drag that one down? It's going to be stuck in there. And Rower's being told that he's allowed to use that one. Now Tupaia, two-man tackle on him, busts through Ricky Riccatelli's challenge. Counter ruck coming from the Blues, and Anton Segner wins the penalty again. Batman Begins. Is that what movie Michael Caine's in? What? You don't know who is Michael Caine? Michael Caine was Batman, was he? I haven't seen Batman. Now, Anton Segner winning that penalty, which means Plummer will be able to kick this one towards the touchline. Top British actor, mystery and suspense, clever movies. Better than much of the other stuff people want you to watch, says Robert. You were 6, says Samuel. Is that when Batman came out? Oh, gets a big shove in his back, Anton Segner, from his teammate after winning that penalty. Line out throw, Ricky Riccatelli. Nicely taken by Segner. Now Tofa Funaki goes back across to Mark Talia. He'll be tackled 40 metres out from the try line. A little bit of a counter ruck coming from the Chiefs, although by that I mean they just both flopped over the breakdown. Drop ball, though, from the Blues, and the Chiefs will get the scrum. Should have gone for the 3, says Eric. And if the Blues lose tonight, that's the end of Spider. The suit comes off for good. No more crime fighting for the Spider. How about if the Blues lose, instead you stop putting money on them on the TAB? Yeah, good idea. Looks like a bit of an injury here for Brodie McAllister. May have got a sprig to the stomach. Or the oblique. That wouldn't have been that nice. Cannibal Holocaust is a funny movie to watch. Says Matthew. Right, Finley Christie comes onto the field. That is for Taufa Funaki. I'm going to quickly, while we've got a stoppage here due to injury, you have to watch the Eagle has landed. We'll look up Michael Caine and see if I at all recognise the man. Michael Caine. Has he been in... He would have been in something I've seen at some point, I'm sure. Maybe not, though. And get Carter. Says Samuel, too late the hero. Are you doing communication for NPC this year? Probably not a huge amount, just because normally it does overlap with other competitions. And bro came off, bro. Says PSG. Taufa Funaki no longer out there on the field. Kingsman. Maybe the newer Kingsman ones, if he's been in any of those, possibly. But maybe not. No. Don't know. Now, scrum feed, good challenge. And scrum time from both of the sides. Xavier Rowe goes off to the left hand. Nice run forward from Daniel Rona. Oh, he's in the back line. Mark Talia steals the ball. Up quick as a flash. I think the Chiefs weren't happy about whether or not he was onside. And Harry Plummer, inside ball, goes to Rico Ioane. And I'd expect the Blues to turn the screws on. Chiefs in the second half. Back across to the right. AJ Lamb. Tackled again. Now Christie back into the pocket to Bowden Barrett. He will sink it down towards the 22-metre line. Damien McKenzie going for a kick of his own. Close to the touchline. It's going to bounce out, though. About halfway in between the 22 and the 40-metre line. Good aggression being shown by Daniel Rona, just throwing himself straight at the line. Also, I'm also still a child at heart, mate. I'm with you there, says Colin. Even like children's movies, I don't think I've seen a huge amount of, to be honest. But we'll get there. We're gonna do that thing how I have to watch a movie a week once we're outside of the busy season. Right, there's an advantage now for an early tackle on a Blues team member. Plummer kicks it high. Talia slaps it back to Bowden Barrett. Gets it away to Josh Fusitua, so they have actually made that sub of Ovatuangafasi. The refs say still under advantage there. They have made about 30 metres. And they'll go back. Way across the field. Tackled early. Do you know what the attendance is, Hamish? No, sadly. I don't think they've shown it as of yet. But once they do, if I see it pop up, I will, of course, let you know. Everyone watching closely for that Chiefs bench. See when they are going to be making those switches. It was well claimed by Anton Segner at line-out time initially, and then there must have just been that little bit of pre-engagement from the Chiefs. Now Ricky Riccatelli. Line-out throw here. And that was not straight from Ricky Riccatelli, but because the Chiefs did not throw anyone up, it meant that it didn't matter that it wasn't the straightest. One of the new laws that have been changed recently when it comes to lineouts. Christie off to Segner. Couldn't quite get the offload to Clark, who has to join the breakdown to protect the ball. Bowden Barrett passes one more to Mark Talia, looking for the corner, but he'll be smashed into touch. Defend Chiefs, says Nov Mum. Good to see you keeping hydrated. And thank you for the wonderful channel, mate. Your commentary is brilliant. Hamish, thanks, mate. Says Colin, thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated being here. We have got the URC coming up around the corner too. And Defend Chiefs, says Nov Mum. And 36,867. Is that the official number, Spider Mick? So that's not too bad for the Blues. Just seeing it there. Just closing that gap a little bit too much. Leah just got isolated. Had Mackenzie Tapia all pushing him towards the touchline. Are you a great person, Hamish? Please keep going. Says Colin. And we have got plenty more coming up in the future. We have got a new channel member as well. John Matafeo. Thank you very much for hitting that membership button. Have access to those emojis on the channel. That's going to be knocked on by the Blues. And Blues will get their title defence off to the perfect start with a bonus point win, says Marcel. And just guessing, says Spider-Mick. And Michael Caine's first movie was in 1950. 2023, 73 years of acting. Says Rugby Union. That's a long time, isn't it? Oh, yeah, no, Marcel Renata got smashed there by Dyer, but he was in front. Oh, Vern Cotter. They are going to have a chat with him by the sounds of it. Every man dies, not every man lives. We have got there, Blues will get there. Oh no, I read that one, didn't I? But yeah, they'll want to start off sitting at the top of the bunch. And for them to be able to do so, they would either need the bonus point to guarantee it, at least with one game in hand, or they would have to win this game by more than 9. That's the other option, because that would then put them above the Crusaders. I'm a big Bull supporter. Can they beat the Sharks today, says Colin. Yeah, we are covering that one on the channel. Going to be starting at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. Should be a good one. And before that, we're covering the Lions versus Stormers match too. Oh, a little bit of a counter ruck coming from Luke Jacobson. Christie kicking downfield yet again. Playing a little bit of territory at the moment, although he's got way too much on that one. And that ball keeps on rolling. So they will go right back to where Christie kicked that from, which is probably 70 metres down the field. 39 steps, says Spider Mick. Not many actors last that long, if any, says Rugby Union in Sports. Christie, like I said, will not be too happy with that little moment, but he has to try and shake it off. Still plenty more to be done. 104 movies, says Samuel. And very few. Richard Harris was one, I reckon, says Kernovik. Got the waving there from Colin in there too. Right, Josh Jacob, he is taken from the field, and that is going to be for Anton Leonard Brown. Josh Lord coming off for Tupavai. Summer Penny Finau making his way on. That is for Kalen Boshier. It's only about 8k of capacity. Says Rugby Union. And who do you think will be at top of the table by the end of the weekend? Honestly, off this performance, unless the Chiefs do something drastic, I think they could be. But also, there is a chance, right, that you're in that situation. Minor Pacifica versus Western Force is normally close, right? But maybe if either of them win it by 10, let's say, they could actually find themselves at the top of the table, because it all depends on whether or not the Blues can get that bonus point. Because the Chiefs minimum will want the losing bonus point, which is being within 7. We have got there, hey Hamish, are you going to make the other games with those big yawns? Says Super Dad Chris. So I have got the next game, Minor Pacifica Western Force, we aren't covering, just so that I can sleep a little bit before the Lions versus Stormers game at 1:30 a.m. because we have got back-to-back games taking place at that point. And I'm a Kiwi Western Force supporter living in Perth, says Marcel. Congrats with that epic win against the Stormers, says Eric. Now on the halfway line, Leroy Carter. He's looked very strong throughout this match. Attack and run up the middle for Etene Ninasatoro. Now McKenzie tries the kick. It's been clotheslined or at least dragged down by Caleb Clark, and that will be no penalty, but they will go back for the original advantage. Now we have got there, if a girl wants to transition to a man, should he/she allowed to play for the girls, says Reflecting Trees. I have no idea what that has to do with what we've been talking about. We were doing movie quotes before. Jacobson, he did well to be able to control that off the back of the scrum. It actually came off Caleb Clark's knee, and McKenzie did well and truly Hollywood that one. He thought that Caleb Clark was holding his collar, so he did the big flail and went, "Oh, ref, I've been hurt." But his team already had the penalty, so luckily for him, they didn't look at that too often, or else I think he would have gotten booed out of Eden Park. Satyrs will still sit top of the table after the weekend, says Chris Hayes. And Chiefs won't get a bonus point, says Marcel, and get a try, Chiefs. Now Summer Penny Finau offloading it back. This is nicely done by the Chiefs as they get driven down. Advantage now against the Blues for collapsing the maul. Rona passes off to McKenzie. Quick hands, and he scores the try too. I think he's getting in Finley Christie's face after Christie got him with a bit of a late shot. But McKenzie scores. And we have there try to get a try, Chiefs. And then another one, says Novmum, and they have managed to get themselves on the board now. I think Jacobson just having a bit of a chat with Damon Murphy in the background. First try of the season goes to McKenzie. Really good hands. Just cuts through, gets landed on by Christie. So I think that's why there was a little bit of frustration afterwards. Yeah, that's a very late shot from Christie, actually. Now McKenzie has the chance to line up the 3. This will put them within 1 point if it goes over. 3 points difference if he misses. He's missed that miles out to the right. That'll make the score 14 points to 11. So I'm pick D-Mac for the first try, says Sai. It is true. I can't remember exactly who it is, but we can go back and have a quick look. D-Mac was Chris Hayes as the one who picked it, by the looks of it. But now McKenzie, most tries. He's up to top 3 for all time for the Chiefs. I see taken by Tupavai. Now Ratama. And he was still rattled. That's why he missed, says David. Yeah, I mean, he did get crunched after getting that ball down. Nice take from Plummer under the high ball. He has had an extremely solid game. And counter ruck coming from the Chiefs. Cortez Ratama. It's interesting, though, the fact that all the subs were pretty much made at once for the Chiefs, and then that's when they started finding a bit more of their rhythm. That's going to be a knock-on against the Chiefs, though, on the halfway line. Back in for a Blues scrum. Transmission channel says HTYGG, so I'm watching on Sky Sport 1. Here in New Zealand, told you Hamish, says Chris Hayes. 24 matches for Daniel Roan, a bit of a rare era from him. This girl on the team has bloody goatee, says Reflecting Trees. Time is off by the sounds of it, Damon Murphy. Some more stoppages. Tell you what, they had numbers to the left. Probably about a 3-on-5-ish in favour of the Chiefs. Had that one stayed in the grasp. Lachlan McWannell looks like he's got a bit of blood coming out the ear, so he is going to make his way from the field. Adrian Choate to replace him. Suafoa moves into the locking duo. Choate drops back, and then I believe Segner's gone to 8. So a little bit of a reshuffle there for the Blues. A couple more good changes that they can make. Shay Clark, the youngster. Cole Forbes, another guy that they may look to use at some point. But then who do you take off for Cole Forbes? Plummer's looking really strong at 10. Bowden Barrett's had his moments. Are there any other games today? So there is Western Force versus Moana Pacifica happening later, but we aren't covering that one on the channel. But at 1:30 a.m. New Zealand time, we are live for the URC. It's going to be a South African derby between the Lions and the Stormers. And then after that, there's Bulls versus Sharks. So we've still got 2 more games after this one that we're covering, but we've got that little gap in between so that I can get a little bit of sleep since I will be up for all of Sunday. So I had to sacrifice one game for slight 2-3 hour nap. How do you miss that, says George? Yeah, uncharacteristic. Damien McKenzie to miss them from there. That English Roses prop bottom man has a neck like a Chevrolet, or I don't know what that word is, but bull is the next one. Now, sitting 20 metres out from the line, AJ Lamb. Low tackle made by George Dyer. And passed across to Cameron Sawafoa. Hands word down from Tupavai, so I don't think they'll get that clean steal if they did go for it. Segner. 15 metres out from the line. Dedication process reflecting trees. And when is the springboard? When is this? I assume that's when are the Springboks playing. They are still about probably 5 months away. But they did have a camp that was announced. 57 Springboks all selected for that one to go into a training camp. Talia out wide. Oh, did Ratama lead with his knees there rather than leading with a tackle attempt? And just logged in what's been happening, who scored. So far we've seen Dalton Papali, we've seen AJ Lamb, we've seen the try as well for Damien McKenzie, and now we might have just seen Mark Talia get his try. On-field decision is no try. They're checking the touchline, but I also do think they have to check the way that Ratama's gone into this one. It looked like he was trying to kick the ball away. Right, no clear grounding is the call, though. Checking both things for Talia. Oh, no, Ratama. Okay, he at least has an arm in there. But I think his knee might have actually been what stops Talia from getting over the try line. He's on the side there. Oh, I think that saved the try for Curtis. Oh, sorry, not Curtis, for Cortez Ratama. Unless Talia just got that ball tipped down. If he didn't, though, I can't see it from that angle. But yeah, it's whether or not he gets it just as he's rolling over before getting pushed into touch. The crowd are cheering. No, I don't think that's down for Talia. There's no clear grounding. This is going to be no try and a big moment in the game. No clear grounding is the call. Touch and goal. Oh, because it's touch and goal, it becomes a 22 dropout. That is actually best case scenario for the Chiefs because they are not 5 metres out from their line if he had gone out earlier. A few says no try, says David the Mod. And well played, Fiji. Had your back all the way, unlucky, says Sai. And we lost against the Brumbies at the end despite great performance by the drawer. Yeah, they were very close to getting the win there, the Fijian draw. But once again, they look like they will be relatively competitive this year. I just hope to see that same competitiveness when they're away from home. Of course, we know how strong they can be in Fiji. But yeah, if they can challenge a couple sides away, could find themselves in the quarterfinals. offline by Damian McKenzie from the 22-metre line. Segner gets a chance to run it back. Now, Finley Christie having to work for that ball. Ricky Riccatelli with the no-look pass going up to Bowden Barrett. Cross there to Mark Talia out on the wing. He'll be gutted that he wasn't able to score that one. Now, back across to the left-hand side again. Short little pop pass, Choate. Now again to the left. Cameron Suafua. He's playing more of a locking role now, seeing as they did make that other change. And new D-Mac would be the first to score, says Chris Hayes. And says, come on, boys, you can do it, says Moa Hunters. Now back into the pocket to Harry Plummer. No one really chasing this one too hard. McKenzie under it without pressure. They can now really sink the boot into it. Bit of control at the back from Bowden Barrett. I'm amazed no yellow cards. The thing is, I do think, though, if the Blues had conceded a couple more tries in a couple more penalties in quick succession near the start of the game, they probably would have been yellow carded. But the Chiefs decided to go for 3. So that stopped that kind of repeated infringement from taking place. Oh, wasn't the straightest, but once again, no contest. That is the new rule. If you don't lift a man up for the contest, they cannot have a not straight throw unless it's to the back. It'll get interesting now, 10 minutes to go. Now out wide to Sama Penny Fee now. Tries to bulldoze over the top of Finley Christie. Going to go down to the wire by the looks of it. Still a quarter of the match to go. McKenzie tries the cross kick. Beautifully taken by Leroy Carter. Keeps it alive. Leonard Brown goes off to a lot of momentum going forward for Simon Parker. Ratama goes across. McKenzie. Now to Tupovai. Oh, that was a risky pass. Caleb Clark was sweating on the intercept. That's high from Josh Fusitua. Hits Sama Penifee now in the forehead, who looks like he's going to stay down for a bit, as that is normally what you do to get them to look at it. Also, I'd like to think that the TMO would already be looking anyway. 20 minutes says so. Yep, 20 minutes remaining in this contest. No cards between, because they're both New Zealand sides. Cards seem to go against New Zealand side clubs. All right, no cards because they're both New Zealand sides. Cards seem to go against New Zealand club sides or internationals. So you're saying that they don't have cards because cards don't go against the New Zealand teams when they play each other? We saw the card within 3 minutes for Scott Barrett in the game up against the Hurricanes. Now going off to the right-hand side, Aiden Ross. Ratama looking to his right, 10 phases in. Here comes Tupovai. The Locks love running straight at Finley Christie, it would seem. Ratama goes to George Dyer. Can't quite bust through the defence. New advantage now. And that's going to be for offside. McKenzie, great holding on to the ball. Selling the dummy. Narawa almost goes through, finds the offload. No, it's going to be loose, but the ref says play on. Leroy Carter running sideways. Normally has 7 men in front of him. This time he's got 15. Now, Ratama, McKenzie tries the cross kick. Finau went up for it. Clark hit the ground really, really hard. Rico's jumped on him to try and stop him from landing on Clark. And Clark's getting up. And is he going to help Finau? No, I don't know what was going on. I don't know what Clark thought he was going to do. He looked like he was getting up to then go and try and hit Finau. Right, step back is the call from Damon Murphy. We're about to hear exactly what's happened there. I think Finau has taken Clark out in the air, but there was already an offside, so it's going to be probably overruled, and Sama Finau will be the man who is penalised here rather than the original offside. This is going to go formal. At what stage are they going to check that Finau head knock as well while they're at it? I don't think they're going to. Oh no. There we go. They've found the initial high tackle made by Josh Fusitua, so they're going to check that. Then from there, they're going to... Here we go. Fusitua, was there any... Yeah, not a huge amount of duck and a big shoulder to Sama Penifee. Whereas Moana Pacific are playing, can't wait to see Artie there, so they are going to be playing in Perth. Yeah, he's gone upright, Fusitua. So this is probably going to be a yellow card. Are you going to the street sprint tomorrow? Nope, I am not. And yeah, but I think people know what I'm saying. Says Rugby Union. Okay. And if it ends a draw, the next game in Waikato is going to be mighty cold. The ref is B. So this is looking like it's going to be probably a yellow card against Fusitua, which then... Okay, they're going to check the tackle in the air as well. This is going to be interesting because what rules first? Does the yellow card count as the more significant penalty, or does the latest penalty against the Chiefs count as the worst? Will this be regarded as high enough from Finau? To be fair there, he's just mistimed his jump. The crowd are booing it, but I don't think they would be if it was the other way around. So it's a penalty. It's not a yellow, but I believe the yellow is going to rule as the strongest factor here. Because they can't get a yellow card and then... Right. High tackle from 17 blue. He's going to get a yellow card. Okay. So because that's the absolute worst of all of them, that's what the penalty is for. So without Josh Fusitua getting that penalty, it would have been the Blues penalty for the late shot from Samapeni Finau. So Fusitua not too happy about it. It took a little while for them to get there, but in the end, it's pretty much what the initial penalty would have been for. No damn, and the dig begins. TMO are getting so pathetic. Says Joke the Woke. So are you saying that because of the... Which one? The high shot for the yellow card, or are you saying it for the taking the guy in the air one? Try saver, says Jack Slater. But I did think with the new rules that the TMO was allowed to intervene earlier, which was surprising that they didn't do it for the contact. That's going to be another penalty advantage in favour of the Chiefs, and that is due to playing the man early. Will your mum help out commentating at some time this season, Hamish? Says Tanai, maybe. At some point she will join me for one. Samapeni Finau, 10 metres out from the line. Still got the penalty advantage. High shot, that's not. Says Joke the Woke. To be fair, we've seen softer yellow cards given throughout this weekend. That one probably was reasonable. Dunshay's one, I think, was softer than that. But now Narawa round the side. Now Ratama. Going off to the right, Damian McKenzie can't quite sneak through. A couple of these cards the Hurricanes got with soft as rubbish cards. Yeah. Now off to the right. In fact, they'll use it left this time. No advantage. You're live streaming next game, says Caden. We are not. We are doing the 2 URC games throughout the night. But Moana Pacifica versus Western Force, I won't actually be live for, unfortunately. Now big attack and run forward from Simon Parker. Papa Lee loses the footing. Now back across, George Dyer. And is that... No, that's another reverse. Right. Penalty there for the Chiefs. Both just about 5 metres out. Make rugby great again. Says Joke the Woke. I like the fact that it took until the Blues were penalised for one before you started saying about it. But you are right. Some of them are a lot softer than you would normally see. But it's just because the law book's too intricate now. Too many different rules and too many ways that it can be interpreted. New Zealand sets the bar for sensible yellows. Up here in the north, refs send out reds instead of yellows. Yellows get handed around like sherbet. Bloody lemons are weaker up there, or up here these days, says Gurno Wick. And Wallace is injured, says Novmum. That is true. Wallace Atiti out for a majority of the season, if not all of the season, I think, with his injury. 16 minutes remaining. And when you need him, says Glenn Woods. Looks like another change here. George Dyer will go off. Ruben O'Neill, he will make his way on. The scrum option is the one that the Chiefs have decided to go with. Tuonga Fasi, he makes his way back on. And that is due to the injury, or sorry, not due to the injury, due to that yellow card of Josh Fusitua. I guess Mel, another yellow coming up. And that's the thing, like, their penalty count has been huge throughout this game for the Blues. Papali'i will make his way off. That's the last guy you want to have to make his way from the field. This ref sucks, says Chris Hayes. I think both teams have said that throughout this game, though. So, like, as bad as he's been, it seems like both sides agree that he hasn't been the best. So that's better than just one side saying he's bad, isn't it? The fact that both sides feel like they've been hard done by. Now, Kutes Ratama are ready to feed this ball in. 5 metres out from the line. Another advantage. Jacobson picks it up. Can't get out there. No, that was just too long of a motion for Jacobson. I think he might have taken that extra use or extra movement. Got a few years of rugby players will be made to wear helmets and bare feet. Says Choke the Woke. He thinks he's tackled, says Damon Murphy. Okay. So pretty much, I don't think, it's going to be no try. He was tackled. Jacobson says, I put it above my head, but he took far too long to do so. So they will go back for another penalty. That is brutal, says Mr. Orlin. What do you think about Crusaders' performances? They look good up against the Hurricanes. A few early issues for both teams, but overall Crusaders, like without jinxing them, they looked a lot more together than they were last season. And maybe that is just the inclusion of Will Jordan in there, being able to have that impact. Yeah, it just took a little bit too long for Jacobson to try and put that ball down. And Corinna said, Auckland Blues, my gut all day, all night. And Artie will get a red for living Hurricanes. Or for leaving Hurricanes, says Jack. Crusaders look good, says Choke the Woke. And we have got there, are they already banned? Bull rush at school, says Sai. There are a few serious injuries at our school from bull rush, to be fair. But, yeah, not ideal. Off to the left-hand side, this is wide open for Leroy Carter to run it in. And that is the try for the Chiefs. That now gives them the lead. Low scoring. Must be two terrible teams, says Tig. I think that goes comment of the day in terms of the most idiotic one. But Leroy Carter scores the try for the Chiefs. And that is going to be a great start to the season for that man. He's looked like he's going to score the whole day pretty much. But now just no one in front of him. Blues defending with 14. They both have All Blacks and Leroy, me man. Says Glenn there and try. Says David. And there as well. Nice finish from Carter. Ran it round to make the kick a little bit easier. Got 20 seconds to line up this kick. And looks like there is actually an injury. Not too sure who it was. Looked like it may have actually been a lock. Just from the size of him. Gets plenty of height on it. Everyone that run the game. Everyone that run the game are good for nothing. And Waikato Raw, says Jack. There's now 18 points to 14. Right, yellow cards remaining is the yellow card for Josh Fusitua, but he will still be off the field for another 6 minutes. Our clubs over here in Ireland put up way bigger scores. We're clearly far superior, says Tyke. I feel like you're just saying it to try and get the reaction, aren't you? I always get confused, though, when people are insecure about their own leagues. Because, like, you're different opposition, you're different players. There are so many factors in a game of rugby that on paper will always lead to a different score, you know? And that's one of the cool things about rugby. But obviously, for some people, they can't get their heads around that. Up the Chiefs, says Rugby Union and Sports. Because, like, we cover the URC, and I will admit the Irish sides, some of them are bloody brilliant. But at the same time, I don't go around going, oh, I'm not from that country, so they can suck my wiener, you know? You just accept rugby, just enjoy it. But now, sitting about 40 metres out, in fact, maybe about 30 now from the line for the Blues. Good attacking scenario. AJ Lamb goes off to, I think it was Rico Ioane. Adrian Choke now going forward. Christie. To the left-hand side, Cameron Suafua. Good low tackle made by Aiden Ross. Caleb Clark. Quick phases here for the Blues. And she's got a defence, is Novmum. Tell him how much common sense says Si and Irish rugby suck like their nation. No, but like Irish rugby, like the thing is, they do not suck. Ireland, very strong international team. Leinster, one of the most dominant sides when it comes to club rugby. And Munster, once in a while, do all right. Because unfortunately last season they did struggle a bit. But they have won the URC before, 50-22 there. But like, rather than saying other teams suck, we should be instead just praising your own team without having to have the dig in there. Because or else then you divide the rugby world and then half the people go into games hating the opposition rather than just enjoying the rugby. Have to admit, I really thought the Blues were going to be way ahead by now. What's going on? Says Glenn, but that is a brilliant 50-22, I should clarify, because that was kicked from a far way back by Cortez Ratamiko. The Chiefs, good day from the hot Arania. And Hamish, good to listen to you again, says Gerhard, and welcome back. Yeah, I'm kidding, Super Rugby is the best, says Tig. And Blues are looking a bit slip mode, being defending champions, not putting that champ performances. And we have got there, I have to admit, oh no, I read that one, late 80s and 90s rugby was epic. Says Choke the Woke. Oh, that's not straight. Did the Blues contest? Because if they didn't, it would have been legal. But I think all you've got to do is throw a guy up just a little bit. Yeah, so not straight, not contested. It's played on. And I think the Blues, we're going to see the replay here, whether or not they did just chuck a guy up. Just that little bit. Grand Finals replay, and what a 50-22. And going to be a long 11 minutes, says Nom. I reckon Hamish rugby is based on respect. I respect Irish rugby. I'd never rubbish them, says David the Mod. Oh, Chris Stee manages to slap it away off a Tuanga Fasi. Oh, he's hit the ground hard there, the big man, for his 150th. Angus Ta'aval. A lot of experience out there now for the Blues. Arkoi wanted the turnover, 4-point advantage at the moment for the Chiefs. Harry Plummer has a bit of a fumble. It looks like the rain is getting heavier at Eden Park. Miss South African Super Rugby says Choke the Woke, and let's go the Chiefs, says Rose. Big shot from Riccatelli. It's looking like there's a streaker on the field with his cock out, unfortunately. Hopefully, oh no, he's going to be tackled. They're going to have to stop the game now. Seemed like a good idea at the time. But that might actually, tell you what, that'll be interesting because that was a decent attacking chance there. I was only messing, Mark, says Tig. As just banned, it says Rugby Union and Sports. Can we call you Russ? That would be a good shortened term for that. It'd almost work. But 10 minutes remaining. Thanks a lot for your live since games not live in Fiji. Big respect for Naka, says Abhishek. No worries at all. Our Irish rugby and their international teams are awesome to watch. Especially love the games between Ireland and the All Blacks. Got the thumbs up there from Russ. It's a lot easier, isn't it? Second mate, says Rose. Now big chance for the Chiefs to get a scrum going. And Mark, he's 2 cents. Says Choke the Woke. And also the Blues are looking very punch drunk at the moment. What the hell? And Blues need to score. Imagine if the Chiefs win a penalty here. If it was a streaker from Auckland, depending on what happens here, of course, he may have just cost the Blues the game in that one little face. So he would not be a very popular man, I don't think, walking around Auckland. I wish we could one day carry our form into a World Cup semi-final, says Tyke. I'm not far from Eden Park and it's raining now, says Russ. Yeah, it is pouring down. Pollay now makes his way onto the field. That is for Riccatelli. And the Irish rugby team are a powerhouse, a team to be respected, and Blues will score, says SS2. And I put time 3 points on Savir because how bad this game did it for me. And what is the time, friends? At the moment, 9 minutes remaining. Advantage for the Chiefs, so they have managed to get that extra advantage that they did not have prior. Loose ball. McKenzie. Right, I think they'll go back for the original penalty. Yes, they do. Will you do a career mode on Rugby 25? I want to, but the game's very broken at the moment. So, it would be great. But at the same time, it would be nice if the game ran smoothly for a start. Fight I feel is coming, says Jack. And 21-21 final score, anyone? And come on, Blues, already my home side Drua. Lost in the Blues, my favourite team, says Abhishek. Let's kick downfield from the Chiefs. And Blues need a try for the win, says Ruslan. And Chiefs one more try. I love McKenzie, says Moa Hunters. Now 8 minutes. Right, Offa Tuangafasi, he makes his way from the field again. We also see Corey Evans made his way on. Where are they playing? Hamish Rain falling in the background. I see says Goodhart, so it is at Eden Park that this game has taken place. Good run from Josh Fusitua, nice and fresh after his 10 minutes on the sideline. And if the Chiefs get a try now, I can imagine your mod Blues will smash, or Blues Nate will smash his TV. Says Banana Lucy, loose ball, kick downfield from the Chiefs. Oh, Leroy Carter putting in a really good hustle. He was dragged back there by Talia. And the Chiefs back side of Blues territory. Barrett has to kick it for the touchline. And now Amoni Naroa charging for little chip in behind. The ball just goes out. Oh, I think it was actually taken out by Harry Plummer. Had to do it strategically. Satiti is injured. Says Athane, he certainly is. And we have got there, like I thought, Chiefs bringing out the big gun second half, long as Blues don't score. And thanks, mate, says Ruslan. And there too. But now only 6.5 minutes remaining. The time is slipping away. The Blues, if they concede now, I don't see them coming back from this. Maybe they get another try, but just with the amount of time remaining, the Chiefs' defence has been strong enough. Only conceding the 2 tries, almost overthrown for Ngātoakoi. Kalen Boshia drops it backwards, says Damon Murphy. Now Cortez Ratama on across to Bradley Slater. A bit of a counter-up coming, trying for everything there. Ta'ava almost got himself penalised. The next 5 minutes are going to be awesome. Says Matthew Scott, final score will be 25-21 to the Chiefs. Says Banana Lucy. Another carry forward. Ratama goes across now to Tupovai. He's going to be hard to put down. Rico makes the tackle, couple metres from the line for the Chiefs. This could be the deciding moment in this contest. Quinn Tupaia, they've done well to shut him down all throughout the game. I should have guessed seldom see in Auckland home ground without rain, says Gerhard. And the rain clears the blood in the sport, says Jack. Now, Moni Narua, pick and go, doesn't make a lot of metres. A few more backs in that situation than I think there should be. The forwards should be the ones with a crash ball, and now they use the back line. McKenzie dives over and scores his second try for the for the Chiefs of the contest. And that's going to make it very hard to come back now. You are a saviour? I'll pay for Stan soon, says Ben Sense, or B Sense. And the Blues won't go back to back. And that is a great try for the Chiefs. Flinging it off to the left. And McKenzie slides in, using the conditions to his advantage. A little bit similar to what we saw earlier on in the game. For the Blues, how they knew they'd get that slide, in particular for AJ Lamb. And McKenzie has used it there. Kick to come, and this would give the Chiefs a very handy lead of 11 points if this one was to go over. It would also sit them top of the table the way that it currently sits. And Chiefs got this one now, says Abhishek. McKenzie gets it over, and now the Blues need 2 tries if they want to win this match. It's bad for Blues fans at Eden Park, sorry. Says Ruslan, I blame the streaker. Ever since then, the momentum shifted fully in favour of the Chiefs. The Blues have hardly touched the ball since that man took his clothes off. And okay, feeling a bit better. I'm not over till the final whistle. That one's not going to be claimed by Caleb Clark. Now Ratama going off to the left-hand side. Anton Leonard-Brown. Ratama having to push hard to get that ball out of the breakdown. D-Mac will destroy the French for the ABs. And I have missed this New Zealand comp very much. Glad the Chiefs starting off strong. Oh, nice take from Papali'i. 3 minutes remaining. Finley Christie goes across to Rico Ioane. Tries to break through, but they've defended him extremely well too. Fusitua. Running out of time now. 3 minutes left on the clock. To Aval in behind to Plummer. He goes through a gap. He's got Corey Evans with him, or Christie on the inside, but it's hit the hand of Ratama. And our counter-attack for Imoni Narawa. That was the chance they needed to score there if they wanted a chance to win it. No structure in the Blues backline, says Stuart Moore. And kick downfield. Great kick from McKenzie. That loses the Blues 50 metres. It's going to be play on. They've taken it quickly. Pressure on Cole Forbes. Takes it to ground. They'll protect that ball. Finley Christie goes across to Plummer, who just walks into contact. Not sure what the tactic was there, but he's going to lose about 5 metres in the process from the two big forwards, pushing him in the wrong direction. Mr. TD is one of my favourite players. Got a big future ahead of him, says Bernardic. Yeah, hopefully he's not plagued with a whole heap of injuries. I know that sometimes for those younger guys, one can lead to many. Good clearing kick, and now the Chiefs have got themselves the line out again. Blues will miss the bonus point, says Anoy. Certainly will. And the Chiefs have an opportunity to increase their points differential here. Kenzie's got 2. Carter's got 1. No, I was going to say the Chiefs would still need 1 more. Apart from the ones that's not straight, but once again, not contested by the Blues. I think that we're going to start to see sides throw someone up just in case so that you can have the not straight throw, because that one was nowhere near it. But one of the new laws that they decided to go with. Now Jacobson crossed to Tupavahi, hit hard by Choate. Please, 8 more points set than Lilo. They won't get 8, but they could get 7 is the possibility. Now, off to the left-hand side again. Good defensive work coming from the Chiefs, from the Blues this time. Ratama, though, he's been the X-Factor. Change that they needed. Thanks so much, fantastic result. Just love your commentary, you're a top gun. Says Moa Hunters, thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Under penalty advantage now for the Chiefs. Back to McKenzie. Going for the chip in behind. Well claimed by Rico. And that's going to be another advantage that leads to the Chiefs ball. Thanks so much. Till next time, I'll go drown my sorrow, says Sai. And fans enjoying this sweet revenge. And will Chiefs go for the line out? I think they might consider it. 30 seconds remaining, although you're in a tricky predicament here, because if you go for the kick at the post and you miss it, then you're giving the same impact as if you go for the corner and you don't get it type thing. There's 40 seconds left now. I mean, the Blues won't win it. Says Banana Lucy. Bloody good commentary for yourself as always, Hamish. Cheers, fella. Congrats to the Chiefs, lads. D-Mac drop goal ending maybe. Right, they've kicked for the corner. 30 seconds remaining. The Chiefs trying to put in that late hit to the scoreboard, and that could bring them up towards 30, which would be quite the statement win. Almost done the reverse of what it was for the Super Rugby Pacific final last year. Thrown in Naitoa Koi. Taking it well. Now Rolling Moore will once again start to move forward for the Chiefs. Couple metres out. Blues defending, and another advantage against them. Rico had no impact whatsoever. Anton Leonard-Brown tries a cross kick. He's not known for that. Loose ball, and Cole Forbes gets on it. And they'll go back for another penalty. Did I miss the game? You did. 80 minutes in at the moment. Blues fan here. Well done, Cheese. Bench really made the impact. GG, says Setimus. And also we have there Rico Dunn, says SS2. And always, good job as always. I watch on Super Sport, but listen to your commentary. Job well done. Thank you very much. See you later. Adios. So yeah, the next stream that we have got is the URC. That is going to be taking place between the Lions and the Stormers. And then the Bulls versus the Sharks. That is the second game. First one taking place 1:20 a.m. New Zealand time. Or for you guys in South Africa, I believe that's 2:20 p.m. We've got them all scheduled. Chiefs are going for the scrum here. Trying to give one last try to the travelling fans. Still hear one cowbell ringing out. Bugger, that looks like Chiefs won. Glad I didn't miss the whole game. Says Prim. Now, another chance here for the Chiefs to close it out. Join you again for the South African derbies. Says Gerhard. And yeah, they're only about 4 hours away, so not too far from those ones taking place. Thanks for streaming the game, bro. Catch you later. Says Matthew. We'll see you later on. Ratama short border Quintupire. Blues have not given up, though. They want to defend, and if they can, they want to find a way of getting a bonus point from this contest. They could be so crucial heading towards the end of the season. And the mighty defending champions with a loss at home in their first game. Talk about the Blues. So here's Russ. Now Naitoa Akoi. No, he's going to be dragged down low by Rico. Cortez Ratama goes to Jacobson. Never looked like he was going to pass that ball. He wanted to try for himself. They've got, I believe that's going to be Daniel Rona right out on this near touchline. So if they consider using him, maybe if they've got an advantage, could be pretty handy. Well, it's no 10-41 thumping. Take revenge, but a good comeback by the Chiefs. So a 31-point difference in that case. Could be 18, though, if they score now. McKenzie thinks about the kick. Great take from Caleb Clark. But they're still under penalty advantage. Oh, no, sorry. There was a knock-on from the Blues. And that's the end of the game. And not 8 points. 8 points was the highest win of the weekend up until this one. 11 points in favour of the Chiefs, upsetting the Blues at home for the first game of the season. But next week, these two sides have a equally big challenge. Blues have the Highlanders, rematch of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman to get back on the winning streak. And then in terms of the Chiefs, they are playing the Crusaders, a side that look a lot better this year than they did throughout the last. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I said, next stream that we are doing, the URC, not too far away. So if you are new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will see you all for the next one.